Jesus before Pilate. Picture the scene. The chief priests and the teachers of the law have had Jesus arrested as he prayed in the garden. They marched him to the high priest's house where he was questioned. Even though they could find nothing that he was guilty of, they had already decided that he must be put to death. So they bind Jesus and take him to Pilate's palace in Jerusalem, where he was brought before Pilate. Pilate said, "What is the charge?" The priest replied, "This man is causing unrest all over Jerusalem. His teachings are false and he is a liar. He also claims to be a king and must be put to death before he causes a riot." Astonished, Pilate asks the priest, "A king? A king of what?" The priest answers, "He claims to be the king of the Jews." Pilate turns to Jesus and asks, "They say you claim to be the king of the Jews. Is this true? Are you the king of the Jews?" Calmly, Jesus replies, "Yes, it's as you say." Protesting angrily, the priest responds, See, what a liar he is. He's a false teacher. He's trying to start a revolt. He is a danger to us all." Again, Pilate turns to Jesus. "Do you hear what they're saying about you? Do you have anything to say in reply? What is your defense?" But Jesus remains silent despite Pilate's angry accusation. He says nothing. Pilate is truly amazed. After some thought, Pilate proclaims, "I find no basis for a charge against this man. He's done nothing wrong, certainly nothing to warrant his death." Again, the priest protests. He proclaims to be king, and with this claim, he opposes Caesar. "In fact, you are no friend of Caesar's if you let him go, because he deserves to die." At this, Pilate sits down on the judgment seat to think. As he is struggling with his thoughts, a message from his wife is brought to him. The note reads, "Have nothing to do with this Jesus. I have suffered all night in a dream because of him. Have nothing to do with him." Pilate looks over at Jesus, not really caring if he lives or dies. Jesus' fate is not of no concern to him at all. Many other Jews and criminals have suffered harsh punishment and even death by his hands. No, the only person that Pilate is concerned about is himself and his reputation. If he lets Jesus go, news may get back to Caesar that he has set a traitor free. Also, if he signs the death warrant, his wife would not be happy, and that could be just as bad. What a dilemma for Pilate. Then he realizes that the way out of this predicament is to get someone else to make the decision for him. Suddenly, Pilate remembers the Jewish Passover tradition. Jumping up, he shouts, "Fetch Barabbas!" Barabbas is a murderer and a notorious criminal, and the Jewish tradition was that each Passover the people could choose one prisoner to be released. His plan is to offer the people the choice of releasing Barabbas or Jesus, confident that they would choose to free Jesus over the brutal murderer. Pilate speaks to the crowd. As in the Passover custom, you can choose one prisoner to be released. Do you choose this Jesus, the King of the Jews, or the murderer, Barabbas? But Pilate did not know that the priests had been inciting the crowd to ensure that they could get their way and Jesus is put to death. The priest shouts, "Choose Barabbas! Choose Barabbas! Jesus is the one who must be put to death." So when Pilate asks this question, all the people shout loudly, "Barabbas! Give us Barabbas!" Pilate then asks, "What shall I do then with this Jesus who is called Christ?" Again, the crowd demands, "Crucify him! Crucify him!" Still perplexed, Pilate asks, "But tell me, What crime has he committed? Again, the crowd demands, crucify him, crucify him, crucify him. Soon Pilate realizes that he's getting nowhere with the priests and the crowd, who are baying for Jesus to be put to death. Feeling sure that there is a real threat of a mass riot, he takes some water and washes his hands, making sure that everyone sees this gesture, ensuring that they understand that he wants nothing more to do with this injustice. So in utter frustration, Pilate declares, I am innocent of this man's blood. His blood and his death are completely your responsibility. Then he signs Jesus' death warrant. In disgust, he gave the order, saying, have your way then, take him away, flog him, and crucify him. Jesus is mocked and scourged and brought back from Pilate and the crowd. Pilate gives the priests and the crowd one final opportunity to change their minds, but again they shout even louder, crucify him, crucify him, crucify him. Pilate answered, you take him and crucify him. As for me, I find no basis for a charge against him. The soldiers take him away to be crucified.